Guys. I am Savannah. I'm the school counselor here, in case you guys don't remember who I am. So I wanted to talk to you today about coping during COVID. And so some of you might be feeling like you're struggling. You might be feeling like you have a little bit of a lower mood, or you might be feeling lonely because you're not at school with your friends like you normally would be. You might be feeling restless because you're not leaving your house as much. And some of you might even be enjoying the break from school, from being here, and that's okay too. But just know that all these different feelings are normal. You might not be feeling the same way as your best friend. You might be feeling better. You might be feeling worse. That's okay. We're all going through different experiences during COVID and we're all responding differently. So just know that whatever you're feeling during this time is totally okay. So, you guys are under a lot of pressure right now. You're trying to get used to this new normal with learning from home, and it might feel tough to try and keep up with your schoolwork because you're having to take up a lot of energy to get used to this new routine and this new way of learning. So, to understand coping, we are going to talk about what happens in our brains and bodies when we're under stress. So, I have my little whiteboard here. I'm going to draw a brain. I'm not an artist, so forgive me. It doesn't look like a very good brain. But we have our amygdala. And if you guys have heard about the fight, flight, or freeze system, this is the amygdala is in charge of that system. So, our fight, flight, or freeze system is turned on in our body whenever our brain or body recognizes that there's a threat. So, it's like if there was a tiger chasing us. Our amygdala turns on to help our bodies recognize that we need to pump more blood, we need to breathe faster, we need to be able to run to get away, or we need to be able to fight through the situation, or sometimes maybe we even freeze right up and we don't know what to say. So, those are all examples of some responses that we can have when our amygdala turns on. So when our amygdala turns on, we have this front part of our brain that actually turns off when our amygdala turns on. So when our fight, flight, or freeze system is on, this front part of our brain turns off. And this front part of our brain is in charge of taking in new information. It's in charge of, like helping us remember things, being able to think rationally. So, like when you're taking in new information at school, this part of your brain is going to be able to help you learn ultimately. So, because COVID times are a little bit stressful, we might find that our fight, flight, or freeze system is turning on a little bit more than normal. We might find that we're feeling a little bit tired because running away or fighting a tiger every day is really exhausting. So our body doesn't know the difference between being chased by a tiger or being in another stressful situation, so like COVID. Um, so it's exactly like a smoke detector. So the smoke detector in our house goes off when it detects smoke. So what happens if there's no fire? It still goes off. If we're burning something on the stove, it's a false alarm, but the detector still goes off. So this is exactly the same way that our brain and bodies work, is that there might not be a life-threatening situation, but our smoke detector still goes off when we're under stress to say, hey, there's potential that you might have to fight, flight, or freeze. So let's get prepared for this. So, with all that being said, I know that's a lot to take in. So there are some things that we can do to help us through these stressful times. So I'm just going to erase my brain here. So breathing is actually really important. You're probably thinking that's kind of weird because we breathe all day, every day, but long controlled breaths are actually really important. So at any time throughout your day, if you're starting to feel like you're breathing really quickly, it's like a little bit more shallow, stop and take a few seconds. Breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and then breathe out for 5 seconds. And then repeat this like 3 to 5 times or however long it takes you to feel a little bit more calm again. So, breathing is the best way to turn off that fight, flight, or freeze system that we were just talking about. Another thing you can do is go for a walk. It's really good to help keep our bodies moving and getting outside for fresh air, especially if you're sitting at home all day, because that can get a little bit boring. So even if you go outside for a quick walk around the block, a good time to do this would maybe even be on your lunch break from school, because then maybe when you come back from your lunch break, you'll start to feel a little bit more like energized. You'll be able to come back and focus a little bit better. So we also want to do things that genuinely make us happy. So if you have a specific friend that makes you really happy, you have a really good laugh, maybe it'd be helpful to have a phone call with them every single day and be intentional about connecting with them, or cuddling your dog, throwing a ball around in the backyard, anything that makes you happy or kind of feels like a little bit of a mini vacation away from the stress that you're under. So be super intentional about finding those things that make you happy, and then just build them into your day every single day. Set aside a little bit of time and do those things, because then it just gives you a little bit of break from all the pressure and the stress that you're under right now. So I know you're all going to hate me for saying this one, but it's also really important to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, because getting enough sleep puts a lot more stress on our mind and body. And that's the last thing we need right now when we're under COVID stress. So get your. And the last thing that I want to talk about is a little exercise that can bring you back to the moment. So what you can do is you can just stop and take a few minutes to recognize 3 things you can hear, 3 things you can see, and 3 things you can feel. So, for example, 3 things in my office that I can see right now. I can see some brown cupboards that you guys can't see right now. I can see there's a yellow paper there. And then I have a white piece of paper in front of me. I can see something that's white. And then 3 things I can hear. I can hear the vent, the clock ticking, and then the garbage was just getting taken out, it sounds like. So I could hear the like fluffing of the bag. So there's 3 things that I could hear. And then 3 things I can feel. So I can feel that my sweater's soft and it's against my skin. I can feel the floor beneath my feet. And then I can feel my chair behind me. There's 3 things I can feel. So doing these things can help bring us back to this moment, what's going on for us right now, the things that we're feeling, the things that we're seeing, the things that we're hearing. That helps bring us back to this moment and can help take our attention away from the things that maybe we're worrying about, or, if we're thinking about all this schoolwork that we haven't gotten to, we're stressed out about it, all those things. This can kind of just give us a few seconds of a break from all that stress and worry. So these are a few things that you guys can try to help you get through the next few weeks. I hope they were helpful for you. And if you guys have any questions, or if there's a certain topic you want me to talk about or cover, let your teacher know, and then I can always do more of these videos. So I hope you guys are staying safe and well.